What's up YouTube? Welcome to the Review Garage. This is going to be our first ever product review on the channel, and it's going to be of the RoyalBaby EZ Freestyle kids training bike. We're going to go over some basic specs of this bike and then get into some pros and cons and just some general thoughts on the bike and if I think it's worth keeping in your garage and purchasing for your kid or kids. So this bike comes in a 12, 14, 16, or 18 inch model. This one here is the 14 inch. Our son is just about to turn 3, and this one fits him well. He'll be able to grow into it, which is what we wanted. So the 14 inch is a good fit for him. They're all around 20 pounds with the training wheels. I think it's actually about 21 pounds with the training wheels. The height adjustment could be between 18 and 23 inches. And kind of the big selling point on the RoyalBaby is the 2-brake system that it comes with. So we'll go ahead and get into some pros of this bike, things that we have noticed that work really well with it, that our kids like. I would say that one of the biggest pros for me as a dad who, I'll just say, is not handy at all, to put it like very lightly. I'm not handy. This bike was super easy to put together. I think I spent more time taking it out of the box, getting everything out of the wrapping versus actually putting it together. It's a 10-minute assembly. You're basically just putting it in the seat and then you're putting in the handlebars. They come kind of flipped over. You flip them in and there's a little wrench that you screw in and that's it. And then really if you need the training wheels, put the training wheels on and the pedals, and that's essentially it. Also the bell, light, and the water. Actually, the water bottle holder came assembled, so you didn't have to do that. So that was a pro. Assembly is super easy. No daunting undertaking assembling this bike, so that was a huge plus. The other really big thing with this bike that kind of sets it apart, I think, from what feels like just an endless amount of other options that are out there in this segment with the kids training bikes, is the RoyalBaby comes with the 2-brake system. So that means it has your coaster brake. So if a kid pedals backwards, it'll brake, but it also has this handbrake up here. It's got a handbrake and the coaster brake. So that kind of sets it apart from a lot of the other options in the kids training bike class, is that 2-brake system, which is nice. Because for my 3-year-old now, he's not quite big enough to grip this handbrake, so he's just using the coaster brake now. But as he gets a little bigger, he'll be able to practice with the handbrake. Another pro with this bike is the thick tires. They're almost 2.5 inches thick. Makes going over, cracks in the driveway, bumps in the sidewalk, potholes, mulch, rocks, really easy. Like, it doesn't struggle to get over those obstacles at all. So that's really nice. And the biggest kind of functioning pro with this bike that I've noticed, which is something I didn't even think twice about when we purchased it, was this little handle on the back of the seat. Every time my son's on this, at some point, I end up grabbing this, whether it's he gets stuck in the grass, I can push, pull, stuck on a turn, I can push him here. I always end up grabbing this, versus on other bikes, you may have to grab around their shoulders, their neck to try to kind of like balance them out. And then, especially once we get these training wheels off, this will be really nice to kind of hold his balance when I'm, running with him, trying to, figure out the biking with the no training wheels. This will be great. So this is a really nice feature. It's a really thick, good grip handle. And that kind of brings me to my next big pro with this bike is just the build quality. It's all like a thick steel. It just feels really nice. Like, nothing on the bike at all feels cheap. Like, even from the pedals, they don't feel like the super cheap plastic that I've seen on some other bikes. They feel good. The grips feel nice. It's just a really well built bike. I would call it a pretty robust build. It just feels really solid. It just feels solid. Like, I never have any concerns about this bike just kind of falling apart as my son's riding on it. In terms of cons, the biggest con that we've noticed with this one is actually the seat. It looks nice and it feels okay, but it's kind of like a slippery material that doesn't have much give. So we've noticed that my son kind of like slides on it a little bit. So it doesn't really feel like he's like molded in there well. He kind of slides on it a little bit. So that's been kind of the biggest con. I'm hoping this will kind of loosen up the more it gets used. Like I said, it's only about 3 weeks that we've had it. So maybe this seat will break in a little bit. And also the bike, you know, with it being this thick steel and the training wheels, you got the thick tires, it's a little heavy. Like it's 21 pounds. So it is a little bit on the heavy end. Like when you're just kind of moving it around, it is a little heavy. So just kind of keep that in mind. But me personally, I would take a robust, thick build, you know, with it being a little heavy versus a lighter, cheaper feeling bike. So I'm kind of okay with that, but just keep that in mind if that's something that is a concern to you. Also, on the reviews online, a lot of people complained about the bell. I'm not sure why. The bell has worked completely fine for us. Every time we flick the button, it makes a bell noise. I don't know what all the negative reviews were about, but our bell works fine. And I actually kind of wish it didn't work because our kids love the bell so much that not only is there now a bell on this bike for my 3-year-old, but my 5-year-old wanted a bell on his bike, so we had to order a separate bell and put a bell on his bike. So I hear dings pretty much all day long. So bell's a big hit, for better or worse. It's a big hit. Overall, if you're looking for a robust build with safety features and kind of dummy-proof assembly, I think this is a great purchase. Like I said, it's built really well. It's got the 2-brake system. It kind of has the whole package. It even comes with a water bottle. I forgot to mention that, little BPA-free water bottle that you can use. I think it's a really good purchase. Now, it is a little bit on the higher end of price. I think they're around $170, $180 new, but they go on sale a lot, and certain colors are cheaper for some reason. The red we got on sale for $122. So I think if you can get a deal below $150, I think it's a great buy. And again, because if you think about it, you're getting a bike that can be used as, you know, a balance bike. If you take the training wheels off and the pedals off, you can use it as a balance bike. When the kid gets a little older, you can throw some training wheels on it, and they get a little older past that, just go to the full regular bike. So you're kind of getting 3 bikes in one. So if you look at it from that lens, it's actually a really good value purchase. And I will say, so our 3-year-old uses this bike with the training wheels, but we have tried it for our 5-year-old and taken the training wheels off, and he loves just riding it as a regular bike. So it works great as a regular bike too. We just adjust the seat, you can pull the handlebars up as they get bigger. Both are fully adjustable. So it really is a versatile bike for the price you pay. It's a versatile bike, it's well built, and the kids can kind of just grow with it, you know, as they get older. So I think it's a really good purchase overall, and it'll definitely be a keeper in this garage. And I will have some other reviews. We have a Strider. I'll be doing other reviews on a Strider and a couple Guardian bikes as well. But we want to start with the RoyalBaby right now because this is this is our favorite. So it also just looks good. I mean, it just looks good. Look at that. It's just a good looking bike. Good looking bike. But thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more reviews on the way, and have a good one.